Tonight on CTV News at 6. Bogus bills.
I want to warn you, they're going to look alike.
Counterfeit cash is circulating in Sudbury. With fewer international students.
That doesn't mean the programs are canceled forever. It just means that at this current point, we're suspending intake of new students.
How many programs is Cambrian College suspending? And it's a program that offers hope.
We have a lot of youth that have left our communities for whatever reason, and this will help them as well to reconnect with our First Nation.
Moose Cree First Nation is marking the grand opening of a new home for young adults.
CTV News at 6 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. So glad you're with us on this Friday. Police in Sudbury are looking for a man they say fled a ride stop, injuring an officer in the process. At a ride check October 31st at LaSalle Boulevard and Frood Road, police say they found a man impaired with an expired license and prohibited from driving. When police opened the car door to arrest the man, the driver pulled forward, striking the officer, fleeing the scene. Police are looking for the public's help in finding 47-year-old Devin Taylor. To Manitoulin Island, where one person was killed following a crash in Billings Township. The three-vehicle crash happening around 5:30 p.m. yesterday, involving two passenger vehicles and a commercial truck on Highway 540. No other injuries were reported. And a fatal collision yesterday in Currens Township near Timmins Shores. Police were called to a two-vehicle crash around 12:15 in the afternoon at the intersection of Milberta and McCool Roads. One driver was rushed to hospital with serious injuries, where they later died. Police are telling people to be on guard after a wave of counterfeit bills began circulating in Greater Sudbury. CTV's Madison Merrier has that story.
Police say that $50 and $100 counterfeit bills have surfaced in the region.
They're different denominations, so sometimes they're lower, sometimes they're higher, or a combination thereof. It just kind of depends on what the counterfeiters are trying to get away with at the time, and they try to mix it up.
So far, we haven't had any issue with the people that are trying to pass them off. They just kind of, okay, I'll grab another bill, and they'll go back to the bank if that's where they said they got it from.
The Bank of Canada says that these fraudulent banknotes visually appear the same, but there are many security identifiers in legal tender.
They have all kinds of literature on how to distinguish real from fake bills. So they have handouts and pamphlets. We give that to our staff, especially our cashiers.
I want to warn you, they're going to look alike. There's going to be some similarities because the banknote itself has certain features where people will copy those. So they'll simulate that, but they don't simulate the security features, and that's the key.
Not only is counterfeit cash illegal, it's also costly.
So it is unfortunate that if a business were to, for example, take a $100 bill, they're going to be out $100. Because the bill has to be taken out of circulation as being fraudulent.
Police advise inspecting a banknote to avoid accepting a counterfeit bill. However, if one is accepted, they ask that you report the incidents to police to ensure they can investigate. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Cambrian College in Sudbury is suspending more programs due to its drop in enrollment of international students. But that's not expected to impact current students or faculty. CTV's Angela Gemmel reports.
I just have a question about our study permit.
These second-year students have stopped by the International Student Office to get some advice about their education. They're just some of the 1,400 international students enrolled at Cambrian College.
Last September, last fall term, we had about 2,600, so there's been a significant drop.
That decline is due to the cap implemented by the federal government in 2024, reducing the number of study permits by 35%. Another cap with a 10% reduction was included in the recent federal budget. It's news that's resulted in the board at Cambrian suspending 6 more programs after it suspended 10 last spring for the same reason.
All 6 of those programs relied on international students to make them sustainable and viable. But what happened is they have been removed from the federal government's list of programs that are eligible for postgraduate work permits.
3 of the programs impacted are graduate programs within the School of Business, Data Analytics, Marketing Management and Supply Chain Management. The others are Fitness and Health Promotions, Corporate Safety Security, and Community and Justice Services.
That doesn't mean the programs are canceled forever. It just means that at this current point, we're suspending intake of new students.
Students already in these programs can can graduate with full credentials. The move impacts 6 faculty members, but the school is still working with the union to keep them on. Lessard says the move to reduce study permits to Canada significantly alters how Cambrian is marketing itself to potential international students.
Really emphasizing that Canada has a world-class education system, a world-class college system, and it's a great place to come to be educated, even if you're not planning on moving here to live here.
Despite the recent suspension of programs, Cambrian is expected to announce new additions to its course offerings. Although Lessard was tight-lipped on what those would be, he did say they were based on market research. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
Today marks the end of municipal speed cameras in Ontario, despite calls from several cities across the province to keep them. As of midnight, automated speed cameras in Ontario stopped issuing tickets, going dark after the province passed legislation putting an end to the traffic calming measure. This despite a sick kit study in partnership with Toronto Metropolitan University that found a 45% reduction in speeding when the speed cameras were there. Almost all of those cameras were placed in school zones and the others were in community safety zones. The province is planning to invest $210 million to support increased road safety in those areas, with $42 million in immediate funding to support traffic calming measures in school and community zones that previously had the cameras. An early morning traffic stop led to a $1 million drug bust. OPP in Fort Frances pulled over 2 women after observing what police say was unusual driving behavior Sunday morning. Police found the women were in possession of roughly $1 million in cocaine. You can read more on this story by going to our website, CTVNewsNorthernOntario.ca. From news to the weather, and a pretty nice day out there, but will it hold for the weekend? To tell us more, let's bring in the CTV's Amanda Hicks, filling in for Rick Wyman.
Well, Tony, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this was kind of the last nice day that we had before the weather is going to transition into tonight, into tomorrow, and then into Sunday. We've got that cold front kind of moving in. For now, though, we do have some freezing rain warnings in effect in the areas in blue on the screen. So we're talking about Timmins, we're talking about Temiskaming Shores, between 1 to 3 millimeters of rain expected by the end of tomorrow night. So make sure you do take care if you're heading out and about tomorrow, and always be careful. We'll have more details on what the weather is going to look like over the next couple days coming up a bit later on. But for now, Tony, back to you.
Thanks for that, Amanda. Support for young adults still to come on CTV News at 6. We are heading to Timmins and a child and family well-being program. And celebrating women in mining at an event in Sudbury.
You see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
An app created in Sault Ste. Marie is already helping one local food resource center, and it could someday be of use at food banks across the country. CTV's Corey Nordstrom has more.
It's called the Harvest Food Hub app. For the past year, it's helped Harvest Algoma and the agencies that use it keep track of the food that comes in and out. The process is great for communication, accuracy, and takes less than 30 seconds.
There's a big administrative burden by writing down how many pounds of food different organizations are taking, how many people that's serving. So with more time freed up, they're able to focus on the core operations of Harvest Algoma, which is bringing food in, getting it out to people in need as quickly as we can.
Created by the Sault Ste. Marie Innovation Centre and funded by a $100,000 investment from the province, it tracks the weight of the food and which agency it goes to or comes from. So far this year, the app has recorded nearly 500,000 pounds of food rescued by Harvest Algoma and over 400,000 pounds that's gone to local food banks and community agencies.
The food that we rescue goes both out to agencies that distribute it. Some of it goes into our kitchen to make the goods that we sell for a bit of a profit, and some of it goes to feed animals, and all of that's good. And I think Canadians need to know that we're doing this and need to be proud of us doing this. There's too much hunger to have food going to waste.
The Innovation Centre and Harvest Algoma are hosting a webinar on December 9th to show off the Harvest Food Hub app. There's hope the system could be used in food banks and resource centres across the country while bringing money back to Harvest Algoma.
Harvest Algoma is running a business, right? We are having entrepreneurial efforts to raise money to pay our hydro bills and to keep our wonderful warehouse and kitchen open. So we're interested in being productive.
Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Moose Cree First Nations Child and Family Wellbeing Program is celebrating its first anniversary with the grand opening of a new home for young adults. The home will allow residents to get the support and training they need. Details from CTV's Lydia Chubak.
Nestled on 38 acres of forest in a peaceful corner of Timmins is this estate log home. A year ago, Agnico Eagle helped Moose Cree First Nations Child and Family Wellbeing Program buy the property. The plan is to fill a gap for young adults who have aged out of the child welfare system who want to pursue careers.
The objective is to go back to school, a trade or something along that line, and attain their goal. We'll have a caretaker in here or a couple of caretakers, and they'll be here to support the youth with whatever needs they have out there.
Agnico Eagle says its contribution was a little over $1 million. The company sees it as an investment in the young adults between the ages of 23 and 26 who will be living here.
Keeping the wealth here in Northern Ontario, right, which is very important to us and to the communities here. So if people stay here, if people are from here, the benefits are going to stay here.
To get this property speaks volumes on the type of agreement that we have with Agnico. I think it goes a long way, and that's the type of, it's a good relationship that should be other resource companies should look at.
The home is now officially open and will be ready to welcome 6 residents starting in September.
We have a lot of youth that have left our communities for whatever reason, and this will help them as well to reconnect with our First Nation.
With the passing of Bill C-92 5 years ago, Moose Cree First Nation has put a model in place to affirm and recognize jurisdiction over its child and family services.
We've worked with a system that was under the province, and prior to that it was residential school. So now, we can assert our jurisdiction with our laws and our model where we will be doing child welfare reform.
You're talking about a long-term plan of really making a difference in the lives of youth that they may not have to receive the support or opportunities that they honestly should have.
Based on data, Carrie Cool says there are over 80 Moose Cree First Nation young adults across Canada who could come home to the new program offered here. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
Women in Mining hosted its second annual Mining Gala and Award ceremony last night in Sudbury. CTV's Madison Merrier has more from the Steelworkers Hall.
It was out of their mining gear and into gala attire as women walked the red carpet and toasted each other's achievements.
Put it this way, the heels are already off because work boots are way more comfortable. I'm just going to say that.
According to Women in Mining hosts, only 1 in every 10 miners is a woman. But many women feel that women's involvement in the career has grown exponentially.
There would be the occasional woman who, like I say, I would look up to, and they certainly served as strong examples. But now when you walk on those sites, it's just such a different landscape. Now I'm not the only one when I go to meetings. I've got other women that are with me, and you go into health and safety. There's more and more women all the time, and it's great to see.
Mining is one of Sudbury's largest employers, and the awards are celebrating all of the different positions in the industry.
There are positions that you don't even know exist most likely. So it's about celebrating the women in the industry, and then of course letting women know who are considering a career in this industry that there could be a role here for you.
I really hope that serves as an inspiration for them to understand what pathways are available for them, and also that there are just so many opportunities out there.
Out of the 9 awards, 5 are recognizing the new wave of women coming into the mining workforce.
I've worked in the industry a little bit with student placements, and the whole industry has been very, very male-dominated, so it's very, very nice to see a lot of women come out, a lot of women show up, a lot of women in the industry, and have all that support.
The gala began last year in response to lack of accolades being given to an industry that shaped the community. And organizers want to highlight the pivotal role women play in trailblazing mining. Madison Marier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Back now for a check on your current conditions. Here's Amanda.
Thanks, Tony. Yeah, that looked like a really great event last night, supporting women in mining and everything. Looking at the weather today, we saw some sunshine out there. It was a pretty nice day across the board. As we move into the evening hours here, though, temperatures are going to hover close to the 0 mark, and that's when things are going to start to change. We still have that freezing rain warning in effect for Timmins, Temiskaming Shores, so make sure you keep that in mind. 1 to 3 millimeters of rain expected by the end of tomorrow night. But let's look at things outside your doorstep right now. The calm before we get into some messy weather here. So right now we've got between -4 to -2 degrees, mostly cloudy skies across the board. So it is pretty chilly out there. For Wawa, we're sitting at 3 degrees, 6 degrees in Sault Ste. Marie, a little bit milder there compared to the other areas in our region. Parry Sound sitting at 4 degrees with some clear skies there. And then we've got mostly cloudy skies across the board here in Kirkland Lake, Temiskaming Shores, and mainly clear skies in North Bay between -3 to -1 degrees. And then finally for the last 4, we've got Elliott Lake and Gore Bay with clear skies, as well as Espanola, and then Greater Sudbury, we have some cloudy skies. And that was the current conditions. Tony.
Thanks so much for that, Amanda. Not everyone is a fan. Next on CTV News at 6. A new report from the Parliamentary Budget Officer is critical of the Liberals' budget. And we talk Grey Cup with TSN's play-by-play announcer for the big game. The federal budget is set to be voted on Monday in Ottawa. CTV's Judy Trin has more on what critics are saying about it.
There is one figure all sides agree on. Budget 2025 comes with a whopping $78 billion deficit. Parliament's budget watchdog says that digging out of the hole will be harder than the Liberal government is letting on.
We think that the definition the government's used around capital investments is overly expansive. And in particular, they've thrown some things in there, some categories of spending, which other jurisdictions in other countries would not typically include.
Under Mark Carney, the budget is split into operational costs, day-to-day expenses like the salaries of public servants, versus capital investments, such as long-term funding for major projects.
The United States has changed. That's their right. We must respond. That is our imperative. And the budget builds Canada strong by focusing on what we can control.
Despite the record deficit, the finance minister says the government will balance the operating side in 3 years and shrink the deficit to GDP ratio starting next year.
100% of our MPs oppose the costly Carney credit card budget that is going to drive up the cost of food, housing, and living.
The government's categorization of $311 billion in capital investments is significantly higher than the watchdog's number of $217 billion. It's a difference of $94 billion that the budget officer says should be added to operational costs, making it less likely for the government to balance that side of the ledger.
In fact, over the 5-year horizon, the operating budget would not be balanced at all.
The budget watchdog is recommending that independent experts determine exactly what is a capital investment, given how subjective the definition can be. As for Monday, Parliament resumes, and the public should brace for another round of confidence votes on the budget. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister was in Quebec today to mark the first trip for Montreal's light rail transit system.
Once completed, the REM will be the largest automated transportation system in the world.
Riders will be able to use the extension linking Montreal's northwestern suburbs to downtown starting on Monday. The latest phase of the project is expected to cut travel times from up to 2 hours down to half an hour. Thousands of jobs could be coming to Canada if Ottawa adds a Swedish-manufactured jet to its military fleet. Saab, the company behind the Gripen fighter jet, says the deal could add 10,000 manufacturing and research roles to the economy. Saab says it is also open to creating a new venture with companies already based in Canada. The company's president and CEO tells CTV News the project could include building a new facility or converting an existing one, with the first Canadian-made Gripen potentially flying off the assembly line within 3 to 5 years. Canada's Minister of National Defence, David McGuinty, was in North Bay late this afternoon touring 22-wing Canadian Forces Base and meeting with servicemen and women. McGuinty participated in a town hall style meeting with the military personnel where he took questions from armed forces members about Canada's current role in peacekeeping. McGuinty spoke about potential growth on the base and talked about his target of recruiting 15,000 regular and reserve service members, with recruitment up 55%. Recently, the federal government spent $3.7 billion to upgrade technology at NORAD to modernize airspace surveillance.
We're also building a new over-the-horizon radar system, which is going to allow us to detect right around the globe what might be coming at Canada. We're in full discussions now with the United States on integrated air and missile defense. The whole question of what do we do if we have missiles coming at us? How do we respond? That's something that's being examined here at NORAD, right here in North Bay.
McGuinty also says members of the Canadian Armed Forces are getting a pay increase retroactive to April, plus also a system of incentives. And there's more news still ahead, but first, here's your full weather forecast with Amanda.
Thanks, Tony. We've got a bit of a messy mix heading our way this weekend. We've got some ice, we've got snow, we've got rain, depending on where you are. But ultimately, Mother Nature is serving up a messy mix of a November cocktail, and the good weather is taking a break this weekend ultimately. Looking at things, we've got that cold weather front kind of coming in, moving across the system. By Sunday, things are going to chill off quite a bit there. We've got, rain, snow, ice mix heading our way by Saturday, continuing on into Sunday. But then by Sunday, just a bit of scattered flurry activity there across the board. Overnight, though, we've got a chance of flurries in Sudbury, -5, periods of freezing rain mixed with snow for Timmins, and then Timiskaming Shore, similar story there, low of -9 overnight. For Moosonee, we've got periods of snow overnight, -3, -6 in Kapuskasing-Hearst, 1 degree in Wawa with a chance of showers, and then a few clouds in Parry Sound, -4 overnight. So a little bit of everything depending on where you are. 7-day forecasts, Sudbury, Nickel Belt, periods of rain for tomorrow, high of 2 degrees, chance of flurries for Sunday, -2. Holding on to that temperature for Monday, clouds rolling in, a mix of sun and cloud by Tuesday and Wednesday, sitting at the freezing mark for Wednesday, slightly below the normal for this time of year, which is 2 degrees. For Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, chance of showers for tomorrow, high of 7, so above normal. Normal for this time of year is 4 degrees. Chance of flurries back-to-back Sunday and Monday. By Tuesday, a mix of sun and cloud, and then by Wednesday, clouds rolling right through the region, high of 3 degrees. For Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, we've got an ice-snow mix for tomorrow, and I know that the Santa Claus Parade is heading there tomorrow, so make sure you bundle up and take care if you're heading out and about. Chance of flurries on Sunday, high of -4, continuing on into Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, we start to see a little bit of sunshine, but still sitting at the freezing mark. For Timiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, ice snow mix for tomorrow, high of 1 degree, -3. On Sunday, a chance of flurries, clouds rolling in by Monday, holding on to Tuesday, and then by Wednesday, we see a little bit of sunshine sitting at the freezing mark. And finally for North Bay, West Nipissing, chance of showers. For tomorrow, high of 3 degrees. A chance of flurries on Sunday for the Santa Claus parade, so it might be a little bit festive, but you will have to bundle up for sure. Cloudy skies on Monday and a mix of sun and cloud on Tuesday and Wednesday, sitting at 1 degree there. And then by Thursday, start to see some clouds rolling in once again, but then by Friday, we're getting closer to the seasonal norms for this time of year. And for today's weather pick of the day, it was sent in by John and Lynn Holmberg, and they sent this beautiful shot of the sunset on the Goulet River. Thank you so much for sending that in. Hopefully, we still have lots of sunny days ahead of us. There's more news ahead. Stay with us.
It's the best of the West against the beast of the East. We are just days away from the 112th Grey Cup. The Saskatchewan Roughriders are taking on the Montreal Alouettes, and the venue this year, Princess Auto Stadium in Winnipeg. And that's where Rod Smith of TSN now joins us. Hi there, Rod. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, my pleasure, Tony. It's good to talk to you. It's always an exciting time of year. If you love the CFL and you love this event, there's nothing like it.
You're going to be calling this game for TSN. What will you be looking for?
Well, I'll be looking to see, first and foremost, the biggest story going in is the health of Montreal Alouettes quarterback Davis Alexander. This is his first year as the clear #1, the starting quarterback. He's in his 4th year, but he'd been a 3rd stringer even as recently as last year before he started to really show what he can do. He's young, he's athletic, but in week 3 in Edmonton, he suffered a hamstring injury, and that has nagged him the entire season. He came back for a few games, and he ended up with a 7-0 regular season record to go along with 4-0 last year, 2-0 in the playoffs. He has not lost a start yet in his young CFL career. But he was hobbled late in the Eastern Final in Hamilton. You could see that the hamstring was acting up again. He's getting a lot of treatment for it this week. I was watching him at practice just a little while ago, and he still looks good. Says he feels great in terms of his, forward and backward motion. It's the lateral stuff that I think he's going to be working on today. But a lot hinges on the health of Davis Alexander.
Yes, the new guard versus the old guard, Trevor Harris for Saskatchewan. Who has the edge going into this game?
It's hard to say. As said, the health of Alexander certainly looms. But Trevor Harris is a very savvy, experienced quarterback who is, he's 39 years of age, but he doesn't play that way. He almost looks as young sometimes as Davis Alexander does. He's had an excellent year. He's a high completion percentage passer. He's very accurate. His preparation is always strong. And there is something, what really motivates him. He got started back in 2012 with the Argos. He didn't play much. He still got a Grey Cup ring. And then with Ottawa as a backup in 2016, got a Grey Cup victory, but he didn't play. And then he finally got to start in a Grey Cup with the Red Blacks 2 years later, but lost. And I think for him, even though he knows what it's like to play for a championship team, before he retires, I think that fire burns. He wants to win a Grey Cup as a starting quarterback. And this is his 5th CFL team. He has had certain degrees of success wherever he's gone, including Montreal, by the way, where he was once a teammate of young Davis Alexander. But for Trevor Harris, experienced late in his career and highly motivated in this game, feeling it's his time, it's Saskatchewan's time.
One final question for you. Your prediction for this game?
I cannot predict a winner because I'm usually wrong, and I just think it's too close. The only thing I would say is I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. These are the top 2 defenses in the CFL. And given the nature of the league this year, and certainly the nature of the playoff matches so far in the East and West, they're all close. Close and low scoring. That's the best I could do for you, Tony.
Rod, really appreciate your time and analysis. Thanks again.
My pleasure.
Rod Smith of TSN joined us from Winnipeg. And don't forget, you can catch the Grey Cup on Sunday, either on CTV or TSN. It's a hassle that many of us have to deal with every day, getting those annoying text emails that are connected to fraudulent activity. A new survey finds that texting scams have jumped 50% in the past year, and you may be surprised to find out which group is most at risk. CTV's Pat Foran has details.
Many of us are bombarded with fake texts on a daily basis. It could be a message that looks like it's from your bank or a bogus delivery from Canada Post. And if you think you're getting more unsolicited texts and messages, you're right. A new Consumer Reports Cyber Readiness Report finds text scam attempts are up by 50%. And it might surprise you, they're growing the fastest among Gen Zers.
Scammers are trying to rip off young adults.
18 to 29-year-olds are getting scammed at record levels. And reports of text scam attempts from Gen Zers tripled.
And it makes sense. They text a lot. It's a primary form of communication, and they have instant access to money on their phone.
The survey also found lower-income households were 3 times as likely to lose money from scams. One way to try and protect yourself is to make payments using a credit card.
Credit cards are safer than many other payment methods because you have a right to request a chargeback when fraudulent transactions occur. Consumers who do not use credit cards have fewer rights to dispute fraud when it occurs.
Other ways to protect yourself: don't reply to random or unsolicited texts. Responding confirms your number is active, so fraudsters might keep bugging you or sell your number. Instead, block the number and mark it as spam. Next, cut down on text spam before it reaches you. Check with your phone carrier. Most offer free tools to filter or block unwanted messages. Also, watch out for phishing scams. Be suspicious of requests for personal information from text, emails, or messaging apps. If the message seems urgent or time-sensitive, that's another red flag. Finally, when shopping online, use a credit card. Other payment options may not offer the same protections. Pat Foran, CTV News.
A small maple syrup producer in Loring, southwest of North Bay, is celebrating a major win again this year at the Royal Winter Agricultural Fair in Toronto. 2 Wet Dogs of Loring, southwest of North Bay, co-owned by Ann and Hunter Wilson, are back-to-back world champions, picking up 2 awards at the fair. They won the title of world champion maple syrup while also finishing first in the Canada Grade A Amber Rich Taste category. The Wilsons started while in a neighborhood group in 2011 before branching out into their own business in 2019.
We're not a big producer. We do it because we enjoy it. It's not a money maker for us by any means. Yeah. And the way Hunter keeps changing and growing and adapting things. But we're not out to make large quantities because then it becomes work.
And I was speaking with one of the judges at the Royal that winning back-to-back world championships has only ever happened, including us 3 times in the history of the Royal. So lightning really does strike twice.
Meanwhile, other northern producers had strong showings too. Chickadee Creek Maple from Trout Creek won the Canada Grade A Golden Delicate Taste category, and Hogan's Homestead in Sault Ste. Marie picked up first prize in the stirred maple sugar category and the Premier Exhibitor Trophy. It's a major hockey tournament still ahead on CTV News at 6. A record number of teams are hitting the ice in Sudbury with a lot on the line.
Hockey This Week is brought to you by Rastall Nut and Bolt Company. Well, it's back, and of course, a lot of people are happy it's back this year. It's the annual Silver Stick Hockey Tournament, and with me right now, the Grand Master of the committee, Peter Micheludi, as always. Peter, I know you're excited. What's different this year as we continue with the tournament into day 2?
Well, thank you, Rick. I'm excited because this is the largest amount of teams we've ever had. We have 124 teams, never had over 120 before. We're in 8 different ice surfaces, 293 games. It's a long, long weekend.
Now, of course, this is the last chance tournament to qualify for Silver Stick. That makes it special, and I can't get over the enthusiasm this year. We're coming off the Big Nickel Hockey Tournament. Now this, and a lot of people are revved up.
Well, we're going to have 15 different winning teams going to the international finals in either Port Huron, Michigan, Sarnia, Ontario, or Newmarket, Ontario, the end of January. So everybody wants to win this weekend.
Okay, so in addition to the teams, an increase in teams, anything different in terms of the layout and projection at the various rinks?
Well, we have Countryside Arena. We have lots of games there. Saturday, Sunday, today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All the rinks, Chelmsford, Walden, Garrison, Coniston, Carmichael, Coppercliff, every rink is packed. And there's going to be a lot of parents. There's probably going to be about 6,000 to 7,000 people in town just for this tournament.
And that's healthy for the economy as well. Peter, I've got to ask, Northern representation, any big teams from northeastern Ontario that could possibly advance after this weekend?
Well, we're looking at a team from Coppercliff, the U11 AA. They have a very strong team. They won a tournament in Waterloo earlier this year. Sudbury Minor U12 is strong. Coppercliff U10 is strong. There's probably those three teams that Sudbury have a good chance. Sault Ste. Marie always has 2 or 3 teams. North Bay has good teams. Timmins have good teams. So if they show up and get good goaltending and get some pucks going in the net their way, they should win.
So this is the first of 2 big weekends because you've got A and AA, correct?
That's right. AA is on this weekend, and 2 weekends from now it's AA.
Okay, Peter, thanks for this. I know you're going to have a great time this weekend. Again, hockey this week, talking Silver Stick all weekend long. And don't forget part 2 in just a couple of weeks as well. We're back in 7 days with more on Hockey This Week.
Thanks, Rick. To the OHL, where the North Bay Battalion hosted the Erie Otters last night for their annual big ticket game. The troops did not disappoint. Nolan Laird got the game winner. The battalion also got an empty netter. The battalion won 4-2 over the Erie Otters and also collected thousands of dollars for Special Olympics. In Windsor, the Sioux Greyhounds faced off against the Spitfires. The Hounds pushed the Western Conference leaders to overtime, where Chris Brown of the Hounds would collect the game winner for a final score of 4-3. Around the league tonight, the Greyhounds are in Kitchener to face the Rangers at 7 p.m. and the Erie Otters will take on the Sudbury Wolves at the Community Arena. In the NOJHL last night, the Sudbury Cubs break the points tie for now with a 6-3 victory over the Espanola Paper Kings. Tonight, the Cubs are looking to extend that lead as they face off against the Powassan Voodoos. The Sioux Michigan Eagles are in Kirkland Lake tonight to take on the Gold Miners. Both games are at 7 o'clock, just up Highway 11. The Sioux Thunderbirds play the Timmins Rock, while the Iroquois Falls Storm play host to the French River Rapids. Those 2 tilts are 7:30 starts. The Toronto Blue Jay is the winner of Major League Baseball's first ever Entertainer of the Year award, and most fans probably agree they made the right choice.
Hit well to deep left center, and this one will go.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. gave fans plenty to cheer about during the season. He helped his team win its first American League East pennant since 1993. A writer for Major League Baseball said Vladdy captivated the sport with his on-field and off-field theatrics, all the while showcasing both his fun side and depth of personality. More than 200 Sudburyans packed the Caruso Club last night for Cirque d'Hiver.
I'm glad to be hanging out with you guys tonight, and a huge welcome again to the Cirque d'Hiver event. We're all here.
That's Pure Country 91.7's Brian Cooper on the mic as MC. The evening included a 4-course dinner, an art auction, and circus-style synergy with more than 10 local performers. It's all in support of the Art Gallery of Sudbury as it gets set to make the move downtown to Tom Davies Square.
But as you walk around the event this evening, you will see there are so many people here. Members of the team from the gallery, volunteers from the community, our artists who are also helping to put a spotlight onto the work that they do, but then put really a true spotlight on the brilliant artistic talent of this community.
The Art Gallery of Sudbury moved out of the Bell Mansion this past spring after occupying the house for 57 years. Kate Winslet is making her directorial debut, and a famous documentary maker, Ken Burns, has a new doc coming out. David Daniel has those stories in tonight's Hollywood Report.
Thank goodness you're here. Be quiet in mascara. Make me look presentable. I've never died before. I want to look nice when it happens.
Kate Winslet does double duty in Goodbye June. The Oscar winner makes her directorial debut with the holiday family drama and co-stars with Toni Collette, Andrea Riseborough, and Helen Mirren. Goodbye June opens in select theaters December 12th and debuts on Netflix December 24th.
One of the most remarkable aspects is that you had such different places come together as one nation.
But it wasn't easy. Ken Burns says he and his fellow filmmakers on The American Revolution worked hard to be honest to the actual story they found and not necessarily the version they and most people learned in school.
If you're willing to be disciplined, then all of a sudden you have this origin story that has a complexity to it that may address, without formally doing it, some of the things. Just, we like to say today, oh, we're so divided. Well, we're not as divided as we were during the Revolution.
The American Revolution premieres Sunday on PBS stations. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The Christmas season is nearly upon us, and a new survey has found many Canadians plan to cut back on holiday shopping this year. 3 in 5 say they plan to adjust their spending plans amid concerns about tariff-related inflation. With more on that, let's go to CTV's John Venavali-Rao.
At Toronto's Eaton Centre, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And with the holiday season fast approaching, some shoppers already crossing names off their list.
We're just getting ready. We already have our trees up. We're doing some shopping today. We're going to hit some other malls as well and do some shopping.
And the survey offering a snapshot of how Canadians plan to spend amid worries about tariffs, the job market, and inflation.
I think things are really expensive right now, so I'm probably going to be cutting back a little bit this year, or budgeting well, or just making sure I'm buying things on like Black Friday.
The survey by BMO finding 41% plan to cut back on holiday spending and 15% budgeting to shell out more on gifts, anticipating higher prices due to tariffs.
It is concerning that, everything is more expensive.
Some said they plan to buy more Canadian-made products to avoid tariffs, while a quarter said they started shopping early to avoid potential tariff-related price increases. And respondents on average plan to spend $2,300, which includes travel and food.
There's this general just concern from Canadians of just maybe needing to be really fiscally responsible over the holidays, because there's still a little bit of uncertainty of where things are headed next year.
As for where Canadians may cut spending, holiday decorations, travel, and dining out were top items.
I'm finding the prices have gone up so much, just even food. So I think this year definitely spending a lot less on presents in general.
A separate survey recently found more than half of Canadians feel anxious about affording the holidays, and 61% don't feel financially prepared for them.
Meanwhile, a quarter of those surveyed by BMO said they plan to cut back on the number of people on their holiday gift list. John Venavali-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Enbridge has approved an investment that will see more heavy Canadian oil sent to the U.S. BNN Bloomberg's Marella Fernandez has more.
The Canadian pipeline operator will spend $1.4 billion to increase the amount of oil it sends south. That investment will allow Enbridge to send another 150,000 barrels of oil a day through the Mainline network, which runs from Western to Eastern Canada and the U.S. Midwest. And it will add 100,000 barrels a day to the Flanagan South pipeline, which runs to the U.S. Gulf Coast. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down a fraction to 71.30. West Texas Intermediate crude is up over $1 to 59.95. Western Canadian Select is up, but only by 13 cents to 46.90. And the TSX gained only 72 points, a small reversal after yesterday's big drop of over 500 points. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marella Fernandez.
Here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold down $90.73, closing the day at $4,080.80 U.S. an ounce. Silver slipped $1.66 to end the day at $50.62. Copper down 8 cents, and nickel fell 9 cents, ending the day at $6.66 U.S. a pound. And Amanda is back now for one last look at your Saturday weather.
Thanks, Tony. And the sunshine is taking the weekend off, it looks like, but we've got a little bit of everything else. We've got periods of rain in Sudbury, an ice-snow mix in Timmins, chance of showers in Sault Ste. Marie between 0 to 7 degrees, so a wide range there. And then North Bay, chance of showers 10 to 15 millimeters of rain in Parry Sound, and an ice-snow mix in Temiskaming Shores. So not exactly beach weather, Tony.
Thanks, Amanda. Some streets in Sudbury's downtown are being transformed into a holiday atmosphere. This was the scene this afternoon as downtown Sudbury was setting up its holiday market. The event includes over 30 vendors selling food and gifts, along with selfies with Santa and the Grinch. The holiday market runs today through to Sunday in front of the YMCA on Durham Street, and admission is free.
It's a fun kickoff to the festive season, right? This is when people start getting in the Christmassy mood. So, you know, we'll have some festive drinks down there, some fire pits so that you can warm up, some great places that you can buy some gifts for the holidays. It'll be a fun time.
Last year, the event was a big success, and downtown Sudbury is hoping to continue to grow the holiday market. The Salvation Army will also be at the market to launch its annual Christmas Kettle campaign. And finally, we leave you with a song this evening. Last week was Joni Mitchell's 82nd birthday. So in honor of her and other Canadian music creators, we leave you now with Mitchell's hit, Big Yellow Taxi. Thanks for watching and have a good weekend.
Put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. They took all the trees, put them in a tree museum. Charge the people $1.50 just to see them. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Hey, farmer, farmer, put away the DDT now. Give me spots on my apples, or leave me the birds and the bees. Seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Late last night, I heard the screen door slam, and a big yellow taxi took away my old man. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. I said, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up